Yeah. It's just K1 here on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in. New people, you are welcome. Come on in. And returning people, you know the deal. I'm sure y'all here for the crazy. It's so much going on, y'all. It's so much going on. But today is Saturday. It's the weekend. We get ready to get it started. It's just K1. Hear the outside noise. That's the cars going past. I am sorry. I apologize. We got a lot to unpack today, but I want you to comment, like, and subscribe down below, and let's get the party started, and let's get it going. Right, let's go, y'all. Today's drink of choice. Yes, we needed a drink, y'all. We needed a cocktail. We needed to get it spicy up in here because it's gonna get hot up in here, like Nelly says. We have a margarita full blown. Yes, Lord. Anyway, I may put my glasses on from time to time. I may not. I got my notes here. Y'all, I'm sure if you've been on YouTube or social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you've seen this viral interview with Iyanla Vanzant and Eboni K Williams. And it has went viral. It has spiraled. It's the thing that won't keep on, it's going to keep on giving. It ain't going to stop. It involves women and men. What we think about this and what we think about that. We get ready to get into it. I broke it down for y'all. I broke it down because a lot of people just keep seeing a certain part of that interview. And just like everything else in social media and anything to do with technology, like vlogs, like reality TV shows, you see one part and you base an assumption. That's not right. You should watch the whole interview. And then don't judge. Because we're all messed up. So anyway, like I said, no hate towards Iyanla, no hate towards Eboni K Williams. Got it? Got it. So anyway, we're gonna get into it, y'all. Drink of choice is margarita. How y'all doing? Hope y'all doing fine. Hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Okay. I've done vlogs that I will post here before on, let me give you a little introduction. I've posted vlogs before on dating, being single. I posted vlogs on the household, the foundation of family. If you go back, I'll post some of the vlogs here and go back and watch them. And you all probably already know my opinion on a lot of things, but we won't get to that until the end. But right now, we're going to talk about the subject at hand, the interview between those two women. I love both of them. So, in the beginning, Eboni K Williams was on a show. I think she was on Charlemagne's and them show, The Breakfast Club. And she overheard Iyanla on there and what they were talking about. And then she wanted to get Iyanla on the grill. That's the show she calls. So that's how it all started. And then Iyanla Vanzant became a guest on the grill. And that's where this interview took place. So let me give you a little background on Eboni and Iyanla. Eboni is a lawyer. She's a writer. She's an author. She's a television host. She's 39. She has done spots on Fox News, Revolt, and The Grill. She's a co-host. She's single. She broke off an engagement a couple of years ago. She dated for 4 years. She's African-American. 39. So she's, Iyanla Vanzant, Dr. Iyanla Vanzant is a lawyer. So they have a lot of things in common. They're both sorors of the same two Greek organizations, the AKAs, the Pink and Green. Iyanla Vanzant is a lawyer. She's an inspiration speaker, motivation speaker, author, television personality. She's 69 and she's single. But Iyanla has been married 3 times, y'all. No judgment. I don't know. I couldn't find them on Eboni being married anytime. So whatever. They're both single right now. That's what's important. Okay. So Eboni had invited her to the show, and I always like to hear Iyanla's take on things because sometimes she comes from both sides, but sometimes she comes from a place of like the old school. remedy to problems and issues because she is an older person, and times have changed drastically. It ain't no damn word, y'all. Times have changed drastically over. She's 69 when she was 69 when she was a 20s and 30s as opposed to 50s and 60s. And times have changed. I'm 56. Times have changed from when I was 20 and 30 to where I am. So times have changed, and the way people move around and the way they move, men and women, it's totally different from, fix that together, y'all. It's totally different from your grandmother, grandfather, maybe your parents, you, and the younger generation. It's a whole lot of different things going on. Same game, but different. They move in different ways. So a lot of times Iyanla comes from that era, and sometimes her answers are from that, they pull from that, I guess, the experience she had when she was younger. And all I'm saying is a lot of things have changed, and we move much faster. You got the internet, you got social media, you got all these vlogs, you got YouTube, you got TikTok. Everything moves fast in just a couple of seconds. The things you say in your mouth, what comes out your mouth, everything moves fast. Technology, that's what it's about. So sometimes I don't always agree with what she says, and I remember even when she had that talk, when she had the show, when she would invite people on, and they would go through this healing process like Lisa Ray and these different celebrities and stuff. Because remember, in the beginning it was just regular people, everyday people. Then it became the celebrity people. But I agree with some of the things she says and some of the things I don't, and that's just my opinion. And we all have a right to an opinion. That's how it should go. So Eboni, on the other hand, I never watched the Housewives season she was on, but she was a little firecracker on there. I mean, and I don't know. I don't know that much about her. I just know she's smart. She's independent. She's 39. So, like I said, y'all are 69, 39. I'm 56. We're kind of like boom, boom, boom. So things that Ebony's experienced may not be the same exact things that Iyanla experienced, and me, vice versa. So everybody has their life experiences, and that's what people base things off of. Okay. So in today's world, women have been told they have masculine energy. This goes back to a couple of videos that I've told you all about to go check out. I mentioned to you all that I think that the foundation of home has been just broken and crumbled down. The foundation of home, man, woman, child, whatever, grandpa, whatever, grandma, whatever, all in this house. Most homes are run by single parents, and the single parent that's running a home is a female. So a female has to step up to be the man and the woman in the household or whatever. So the child only sees this one way in this one direction unless they have friends where they can experience these other things. And so the female takes on the child care, when you get sick, the school stuff, when they get in sports, when they win awards, achievements. A lot of times the dads are not involved. Sometimes the dads are, like on a, not outpatient, but outside situation. Sometimes they are involved, sometimes they're not. A lot of times they're not. So then you have a generation that have been raised by the moms, a minimal experience with the dads, and they pull on experience they've seen their moms go through or people in their household, their family, extended family. They may have friends that have two-parent households, so they may get to see a different light. So I always say you're shaped into the adult you are when you're between the ages of, I think when you're in the ages between like 6 to maybe 11. When you're the age between 6 and 11, so many things happen to kids. I used to always say a kid is like the greatest thing in the world to be, because you can make the mistakes and you can get right back up. You could do it again, and you're forgiven automatically. A kid, you're in high school, you're in grammar school, you can make the mistakes, you get right back up, you can do it again. And you're innocent, you're free, you're learning a world outside everything. So I think between 6 and 11, a lot of things can happen to children, and we all know this. You could be abused, you could be verbally abused, mentally abused, you could be physically abused, you could be sexually abused. You could be on drugs. You could see your family, your environment on drugs. You're a product of your environment. Some kids get out of that, and some kids don't. So I think between that age, in that age group, that's when you're being formed into a tween or a teen, and then your relationships start. and you're taking the experiences you've had in your household or things you've seen or heard, and you're putting that all together, and that's how you approach your relationships. Not to say this is the perfect formula, the perfect way. I'm just saying this is probably how it goes. So when you get into your relationships, you're just imitating what you saw or what your experience was. Not that it's right or wrong. So for a single parent that's a mom that has taken on 90% of the responsibility, she's cooking, cleaning, doing the child, everything, and trying to take care of herself. It's crazy. Say you've dated a couple of people in between. So say you have a child, you're telling the guy you got a child. So it's a difference with girls and boys. We all know this, right? So boys, let's keep it real 100. They will try you. They raise their voice, blah, 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 blah. If there's no man involved, they think they're the man of the house because there is no man there. Females, well, these days, females, yeah, young people these days are just, they're not all bad, but there's a lot of them just no direction. So I have hope for them and I pray for them, okay? So if you're dating someone with a child that's a preteen or something like that, you're going to go through certain things where, you go through the famous thing, you're not my daddy, you can't tell me what to do, blah, 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 blah. Now, all these things form a young person into how they deal with relationships, what they see their mom go through, if the dad is active, what they see there, friends. So that's what forms a person as a young person. And you have time to correct this if it's wrong. So what happens with the woman that's the head of household is taking on all the responsibility? She has masculine traits because she had to. I mean, I understand when men say women are being masculine, blah, 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 but they didn't have to be. They didn't have to be. They could have remained soft. Maybe if they had some assistance, some help. And everything ain't about money. It's time, it's energy, it's effort. Do you put forth that? So we get ready to get into what they talked about because this is all connected. It's all connected. It's all connected. And we got to do better on both sides, on the men's side and the women's side. We got to do better. I'm all for women power and feminism and all that stuff. Girl, yeah, you get your degrees and you get your stuff. But I'm also for, and if you look at my previous videos, I'm also for you can't demasculate a guy and think that he's just going to step up to the plate if you're putting him down. If you taking your accomplishments and what you have and what you got in your bag and all this and your boss and your D for this and you putting them down. That's anybody. I mean, even if it was reversed, if it's a man doing that to a woman, that's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Everybody can shine. I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot. Let me get my little margarita here. Ooh. Off. just giving a little preface to the meaty part. Okay, in the interview, I have my notes, y'all. In the interview, Eboni brought up that things are changing through the country about women's rights and government why am I sweating? About women's rights and that the government is trying to control everything about a woman's body. True. Black women or women in general feel they don't have no protection. Why am I sweating, y'all? Why am I sweating? Why? I'm not that hot. It is kind of hot in here. I don't want to turn the fan on, y'all, because it'll be louder than me talking. Okay. She said women feel they're not protected, and I've been saying that for the longest. And let's revert it down. Let's take it to another level. I feel the black woman is the most disrespected person on the earth. Yeah. Let's put it out there. So next, when Eboni stated those statements, Iyanla said, we are programmed to think like a man. We're programmed to be in competition. We're programmed to accept less, to create less, not to step into our own authentic self. That's what we are programmed for. As being, growing up, young people. We have lost our grace. We're into being a boss and being a diva and get the bag. This is what Iyanla said. Being in charge. And our throne and our crown is crooked. We have massive aggression. I don't know why I'm sweating, y'all. women are being, they're acting funky towards other women. So not just the men, they're acting funky. We're acting funky towards each other. Let's get it out there. We're acting funky towards each other. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. Let's throw it out there. We're acting funky towards each other. So not just communication with men, but women with everybody, dog, cat, rat, bone, whatever. We acting funky. So they both agree that we're acting funny. Our words in our mouth, we're harsh towards everybody, not just the men. Women on both sides, men on both. Everybody got a mouthpiece. Everybody cursing everybody out. Everybody saying what they feel, what they think, blah blah blah. So they both agree on that. So then Eboni says, why can't she expect a man to provide and protect? Because what she's been coming into, and what she, I guess, in her dating life, what she's experienced, she can't find a man to provide and protect, especially a black man. Okay. She has yet to find a black man that can provide and protect and do it consistently. Gone are the days to throw a little purse out there. That don't work. So she stepped up and she takes on that responsibility to provide and protect herself. Now, a lot of women are doing that right now. They are. They're not waiting on the man. So she wants to know, and she asks Iyanla, how is she missing the mark? Because she dated people and the man didn't step up. So what is she supposed to do? That's kind of everybody's question, every woman's question, right? Okay. So let's move on. I got my notes, y'all. So at this point of the interview, Eboni just listened to Iyanla, and this is what Iyanla had to say. She herself, this is her response to what does she have to do to get herself, what Eboni has to do to get herself right, so she can receive a man that provides and protects. So Iyanla said she's never been mothered herself. She's never been mothered. She is direct. She demands. And she disciplines. This is what she do. This is how she's lived her life. Men need to build, and that's external. And women should create, and that's internal. Iyanla didn't feel the shift until she lost everything, the house, the cars, all the material stuff. When she lost everything, that's when she felt a shift. And she had to learn how to create, which was internal out. So she did go through the feeling of having fear of control, and she admits she was a control freak, but she admits she went through the fear of control. But we are not taught to not control. We're taught to be the boss, and this is where the masculine energy comes in. We need to learn to be we need to learn a powerful woman versus a woman in power. It's two different things. So, at this point, Eboni just listened. Eboni listened to everything she had said. So she's listening, right, y'all? She's listening. Let's take a little sip. While y'all listening to me. So Eboni said, women, statistics show, and everybody knows this, and we all know this, right? Statistics show that women have the most degrees. More women are graduating from college, especially black women. Women and Hispanic women are becoming the fastest entrepreneurs. And in some instances, women are out earning men in big cities. So I don't know if this was African American women. I'm sure it's not white women, but it's probably African American women and men. Okay. So the men that are available, no matter what the color and age, they're not in a position to provide or to take care of or to protect. They don't have the resources or the leadership. So what do you all think about that? So Iyanla said the standards that women have today about men are centered around aggression. You have to look for a man that has love, integrity, good to his mom, and he treats his mom well, and he treats you well. A man that you can build with. So that's when, Ebony was looking on the side like, child, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Iyanla. So then she said, would you date a bus driver? That's a famous line. Would you date a bus driver? Bus driver. So Ebony just looked like, I know she ain't talking to me. So she said, you, Ebony, would you date a bus driver? So she said, if he owned the bus. So this is Ebony's opinion, y'all, and don't come for her like that. This is her opinion. This is what she feels in her mind, her life experiences. Iyanla has something different. Every one of you probably has something different to say about the whole thing, but this is her experience. Let her have her story. You have your story. Everybody else has their story. Okay. So Ebony says she would not date a bus driver unless he owned the bus and the company or whatever. She said, this is a good point. Why do black women always have to settle? Why? She said, why are they being told to settle? She said, a man should have integrity, respect, and also be financially stable. If he is, these are some of the comments I got, like, from when I was reading the comments online. She didn't say all that. She did say, why are black women feel they need to settle. These other comments are from some of the comments made under the video that I found. So some people said, a man should have integrity, respect, and also be financially stable. I agree with that. Also, someone said, if he's broke, give him a chance. Is that what you're saying? If he's fat and disgusting, give him a chance. We're always told to reach and take the crumbs. What y'all think about that? So Iyanla said she doesn't believe in carrying man. I don't either. You need to bring something to the table. You need to bring the table, the house, the shoe, the boat. I don't know, whatever you need to bring. She does not believe in carrying man. You should always be able to take care of yourself as an adult. You shouldn't be mooching off no woman. No way, no how. You shouldn't be fronting like you got this and you don't. She said, as a man, you should always be able to do for yourself. Whether you could do for a woman or whatever, but you should be able to take care of yourself. That's true. And that's facts. Iyanla says she could build with the bus driver, but she might not be able to have, another thing somebody made a comment and said, Iyanla may not be able to have the lifestyle she has now with a bus driver. That's true. And that's facts. Let's keep it real. Period. Also, Iyanla mentioned that she could build with a bus driver, but she would have this stash over here and a prenup. See, that's what I'm saying. So you're sending two different messages. You said you could build with the bus driver, but you said you gotta have the stash over here. So you following up on, you keeping the plan B. You ain't crazy, Iyanla Vanzant. You're keeping the plan B. You're keeping the stash over here. You said, and plus you're getting a prenup. So what's yours is yours. You already separated it. And you also got this other bank account over here that if hard times come, you gonna be okay. And that's what we do teach our children and our girls. You're not gonna be left out in the cold. You're gonna always have something to fall back on. That's an important point. And I don't apologize for that. Iyanla said, well, someone said if she does date the bus driver, she won't be able to live the lifestyle she's living now. That is true. And she may have to carry the damn bus. Iyanla. The wig wigging. It's my wig wigging, y'all. So, Iyanla may not be able to live the lifestyle she's living currently. She might have to carry a damn bus. She might have to buy the bus, boat the bus, take care of the bus, whatever. Wash the bus, clean the bus. Anyway, somebody made a good point. When a woman has to carry a man, it brings resentment. And then sooner or later, she won't respect him. That is true and factual. True and factual. All right. We are back. You are back with It's Just K1. Our topic today is, would you date a bus driver? Men and women relationships. What's going on in 2023? Would you date a bus driver? Would you date a bus driver? Would you date a bus driver? Anyway, y'all. Okay, we are back. Iyanla gave a lot of wisdom and everything. Ebony wanted to know for Iyanla to explain to her what's the difference between masculine and feminine energy. So at this point, Ebony's listening. So Iyanla said, the man is the mind and the woman is the heart. We are taught not to trust intuition. That's what we taught, but I don't think that's what's going down right now, y'all. Because soon the intuition be out there, the little circle and that stuff be telling you, you be listening to it. That's what we are taught. Our power is in knowing. We are busy. We don't know how to be. This is, I guess, in relationships. Masculine energy is control, justice, power, structure. Feminine energy is dominion, not controlling. Now, Iyanla says she still struggles with this, not being in control. Is my thing shaking? Oh. That's because I'm hitting the desk. Iyanla says she's still struggling with having control and being in control. That's what many of us have grown up on. That's what that's how we were raised. And once again, what I keep saying is the way you were raised and the experiences you've been through in your household, not mine, yours, is what shapes you going forward, especially with relationships, whether you're a little boy or a little girl. What you see, your environment does play a part. Whether it plays a part where you say, well, I see some effed up SH, I'm not going to do that. Or whether you see it and you say, that's the route that's how I'm going to treat my relationship. So it starts at the home. It starts at the home. So Iyanla mentioned the system is crashing. I mentioned this back on a couple of vlogs, y'all. Go back to when my barber asked why so many women single. Go back to Ebony mentioned that when you look at the dating situation right now in 2023, there's more men on dating apps than women. And how do you become, she asked Iyanla this, how do you become more successful at dating? So Iyanla said women can be solid as a woman in self-expression, not looking for anyone outside of self to fulfill their power. So this is what Iyanla's responses were to the dating scene of 2023. She said that a woman can be guarded but not brutal. And right now, the way everybody communicates with each other is brutal. Why is this shaking? I think it's shaking because I keep moving the I think because I keep with my notes and hitting the desk. Sorry, y'all. But she said you should be guarded but not brutal. So the main thing is the tone and the words that go back and forth. Like I said, like I've always noticed, a man can't keep up with a woman's mouth. Never, never, never. He cannot. He cannot, because a woman can spit some SH. You can't keep up with no woman's mouth. You just can't. Boy, you just can't. You're never going to win that battle. Never. A woman can't. Ebony said, nobody's beyond growing and learning to do it a different way. Okay. So Iyanla said when she mentioned the stuff about dating in 2003 and dating, she said, do you want to be a date or do you want to have a partnership? She said we have to stay talking, because the way it is now, and talking with grace and talking back and forth and communicating what each person wants. She said we can't be demeaning. We can't talk down to a guy because we have a degree or we have a bag or we have this. It can't be like that. It can't, and I mentioned this in another vlog, y'all. I mentioned this in another vlog. Go back and watch it. We can't be like that if we're looking for partnership. We can't be like that. Men are very sensitive to what comes out of a woman's mouth. That's what I just told y'all. Men can't handle the mouth. They can't. The mouth be like, and men be like, huh? She just checked me like 100,000 times. They can't keep up with it. That's just a trait women got. So she said men are sensitive to a woman's mouth. What she says really affects him and his feelings and his ego. You need to shift that external and work on your internal. That's what Iyanla said, y'all. Shift that external aggression and work on your internal. So, Eboni said she can understand now what it will look like dating from Iyanla's standpoint, but still have her own, feelings in the matter, and still to protect herself and still be guarded, but not aggressive. Iyanla said there is greater possibility and greater value to get into tune with your internal self, to be in a part of a partnership. Nothing we've done in the past is wrong or incorrect. It's just what we've been taught and what we've been molded to do. So I think their communication in their whole interview or whatever, their whole session, it came off as what was shown on TV and all across the world was that one little snippet, when the whole thing, if you look at the whole thing, it was another part to it, because I went and watched the DJ Envy interview with Eboni K Williams, and her and DJ Envy, oh my God, they just, woo, child, it was just battling. And, she called, I can look at it from both sides with it. We're going to come back to her and Iyanla next. But DJ Envy was saying, my father was a so-and-so, he was a this, he was a that, he was a so-and-so was a teacher. I was the first one in my family to graduate from college, blah, blah, blah. And my people aren't mediocre or average or typical. And Ebony's side to that was saying that she just wants you to work at your highest potential, because if you're a bus driver, it's okay. If you're an EMT, if you're an emergency worker or whatever, it's okay. But is that your highest potential? She just feels you can go higher. There's nothing wrong with being a bus driver. She explained it. But I think it's the word she used to describe people that do service jobs that affected a lot of people and had people feeling a certain type of way. So she needs to bring her little 10 down to a 5 and humble herself. That was the problem. And that was the problem. Now, her and Iyanla told her to, like I said, Iyanla told her to look internal and move like that. And not be so And I've been telling you all that on a couple of videos. But Eboni says she's gonna try this way. I doubt that Ebony's gonna try this way. I think that Ebony's gonna keep moving the way she moves. Honestly, I think that. I think Ebony's gonna keep moving the way she moves till she get what she wants. I think she will think about it. She will think about what Iyanla said. But as far as the way she moves, when they left that interview, believe me, then she's still moving the way she was moving. She is. But she will think about it. Because you do, that doorbell rings sometime when you be going through stuff, or what somebody told you about yourself and to check yourself and this. That doorbell ring. Don't think it don't. It ring. So I think that was a great exchange they had, if everything was shown, but it wasn't, TV and ratings, everybody trying to get the woo, and all that. So it was a great exchange. You can have people on one side of the fence saying this and people on one side of the fence feeling this way. But as long as you communicate and try to get it out there, I think that was a great exchange between both of them. I think Eboni and I think Dr. Iyanla Vanzant. So, all right, we're back. My thought is this. Let me tell you from my personal experience, okay? I was raised by my grandmother first. I have 4 brothers and sisters, right? I'm 56. I'm the oldest. My mother was a teen mom. My grandmother's house, it was my grandmother and grandfather, right? So I seen the dynamic of a 2-parent household. I seen it. My grandfather worked. My grandmother worked. My mother was a teen mom. So, at the time my mother, me, and my grandmother, grandfather all lived together. Then my mother branched out, and she had my sister, my other brother, and my other sister, okay? At the time, I was still with my grandmother. They were all with my mother. So it was almost like I was raised as an only child. So my grandmother did show favoritism towards me, but I did not act that way towards my other brothers and sisters. I wasn't with them. They were with my mother. Then it was a period when my mother came back with everybody. So at that time, I felt like, oh, why y'all here? We've been me and my grandmother, grandfather. We've been getting it on and doing it and, whatever. We've been living it up. It's fine. But then you embrace your brothers and sisters, right? Then we moved. I didn't want to move. Because remember, my grandmother served like a mother role, and my grandfather played like a father role. Now, their relationship was not perfect. My grandmother worked for the Railroad Retirement Board, which is the government, and my grandfather worked for CTA. So my grandfather drove the train. At the time, he was driving the train, and then he became an engineer later on down the road. So, like she said, would you date a bus driver? My grandfather drove the train. My grandmother, you know. So back in those times, this is how their household was set up. My grandfather paid the mortgage, and my grandmother paid the bills. That's how it was set up. I don't know what the mortgage was. I don't know. I was little. My grandmother paid the bills. But like I said, when my mother came back and stayed temporarily at that house, and then the next move, we all moved together to what we call now the low end, which is now Bronzeville. I didn't like that area. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It was like almost like the Wild Hunters was like Beverly Hills, and the low end was like Crud Town. I mean, it was total different type of people. People were more vocal. They were more in your face. And Wild Hunters wasn't like that. I don't know what it. I'm not talking about how it is now. I'm talking back in the day. So we all moved down there together. So then we went to school, grammar school, whatever. And then when I graduated from high school, I came back to my grandmother's house because my grandmother and grandfather were there. So then from that point on, I kind of lived with my grandmother's back again, just me. And they were all down there with my mother, living separate locations. So when I say my grandmother raised me, me and my grandmother had more of a closer relationship than my mom. I didn't know that until I became an adult. My grandfather had tipped out. He was having an affair. Because you know back in those days, the wife just stayed to the end. She ain't doing that no more. My grandfather had stepped outside the relationship, outside the marriage. He wound up having a child. He used to go to the bars and stuff on Friday and Saturday. On the Saturday morning, he would come pick us up from the low end, bring us back out there to my grandmother's house. We would stay to the weekend, go back. And I just still thought from since day one when I used to live there, this is what I thrive for. So in my mind, the type of guy I wanted was a type of guy like my grandfather, not knowing all this other bull was going on. So then my grandfather wound up having a heart attack and passed. Even before then, I said, my grandfather ain't perfect. My grandmother ain't perfect. My grandfather had a child outside the marriage. But it doesn't change the love I have for my grandfather. It doesn't change because I still love my grandfather. His actions are effed up. And I really felt for my grandmother. And I always said, I am never going to accept no dude that I know. I would never be married to somebody that I know is stepping out, that I know of. I don't know if she knew or not. I don't know. I won't get into all that. But I can't stay for my own sanity. I know back in the day, they used to stay to the end. The man would have multiple families all over the place, and kids and wives and everything. And the one chick would be still hanging in there. That day is over. I think that day is over for the new generation. It's over for me, and I'm 56. I will not stay. I will not. See. Men, you need to go to effing counseling. I'm sick of hearing you don't. I'm sick of it. Everybody has past childhood traumas. Everybody, everybody. You need to sit your ass in a counseling session once or twice. You do need to. You ain't too big, bad, and bold because you're a black man. You can't. You need to. You need to work it through, because until you work through those issues from your past, you can't go forward on a positive level in a relationship with a woman, because she shouldn't have to deal with your past trauma. Yes, she should be in counseling too. Y'all could do it together, y'all could do it separate. I prefer you do it separate, because your past is your past, my past is my past, my past is my past. But there's certain things I'm just not going to accept. You come to the table, you come to our together table. You should be financially stable. You should be mentally stable. That means you went and did the counsel. You went and did the work. You've been working on yourself. You're ready. Ain't nothing wrong with no little counsel. As you get older, you get wisdom and you gain knowledge and you have life experiences. And you know what you won't tolerate and you will tolerate. It doesn't matter if the person's a bus driver. It doesn't matter if the person works streets and sand. It's about the person's character and the way they treat you. That's my feeling. So, because you could be a lawyer or a doctor in these in these big places downtown or whatever, and you could be an a-hole. Your job does not define you. Now, as it opposed to building together, I've been through struggle love, and I ain't going through it. Not at 56. I'm sorry. And I would try to tell the young people, don't be in such a rush to get married young. Live your life. Find you. Find who you are, what you want to be. You don't need to be locked up at 20-some years old. You can get married 30-something, but at your 20s, live your life. Live your life. Enjoy, travel, do you, get your job, find out what you like. You don't know if you might marry a black man, a white man, a Puerto Rican man, Mexican man, whatever, Asian man. Live your life, experience. You don't need to be booed up like that and locked in. You got a boyfriend, but that wedding, I need to wait. Live your life, get your career together, get yourself together, so you have something to fall back on. It's a couple of things that's non-tolerable for me. It's physical abuse. I'm out. You hit me one time, I am gone. I am done. I am donezo. And the reason it's silence is because I think 2 out of 3 women have dealt with physical abuse, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. I think 2 out of 3 women have dealt with domestic violence. So I will never deal with that and stay in that. But it's up to you when you get tired. When you get tired. I can't force you to leave. I can't tell you, but when you get tired, you'll leave. When you get tired. So physical abuse is number 1. Is a no-no for me. Verbal abuse. You're not going to talk to me any old kind of way. You're not. I don't have degrees and bags and all this other stuff, and and I'm not no PhD, but you're not going to use, just like you don't want a woman to use what they've gained and their accomplishments against you to demean you. You're not going to use what you have to demean me. It's a two-way street here. Right now, social media has saturated. Saturated. Let me do a roll. Saturated, where people don't have to leave their house to cheat. They have mental, they have mental affairs with people. They have affairs with people at work. You at work most of the time. They have online affairs with people. They're in a relationship and they talking to people over in the chat room, talking sexual advances and stuff in the chat room. But you're in a relationship. What is you doing? That's not funny. That's disrespectful. But you think it's okay. So it's certain things it's just certain things is not going to be tolerated at all. Period. I don't need you for your money. I want you for your time and energy. You bring us some money along that will help. So to me, at the state I'm at now, being 56 years old, even being 50, if you can't come to my table or come to our table together and enhance my life further than I ever known that I don't know, I ain't got enough for you. Yes. We can't. Sip. The moral to the story is there's work to do on both sides. I appreciate the interview with Eboni K. Williams and Dr. Iyanla Vanzant. My opinion is, yes, I would date a bus driver, but we have to go further than just the career that he's a bus driver. Because, like I said, he could be a lawyer, doctor, teacher, Indian chief, and he could treat you like shit. As well as the bus driver treating you like shit. But if a person, this is my opinion, if a person cannot bring to me, enhance my lifestyle where it's at, and we can go further, do not apply. Sorry. It's just where I'm at right now, y'all. I'm being honest. It's just where I'm at right now. And it depends on where you are and what stage of your life, what you will tolerate, what you will not. I've been through struggle love. It ain't nice. It leaves you broke. The other person ain't pulling their weight. It leaves you broke. I'm being honest, 100%. Now, another thing about struggle love is, if I'm with you and we're in a relationship, we don't have to be slicing and dicing stuff down 50-50 and all this other stuff. If I'm with you, I got us if I have it. And you should feel that way too. You got it if you have it. All that starting to do calculations over here and trying to divide shit and add shit up because it's divided 50% and you're in a relationship, that's bullshit, y'all. I don't want to be with no man that's sitting up here saying, well, you had this and this, let me add this up, let me add this up. Oh, we had a hotel room, so we're going to divide the 225, but get the F out of here. What kind of man are you? I could have went to the hotel by myself. But everybody hasn't been taught. Everybody's life experience. Remember I told you 6 to 11. Everybody's lifestyle is not the same. A lot of people don't know how to love and be loved. They don't know what it's like to even love a woman or love a man because they haven't been taught. Everybody's household was not the same. I don't have time. I don't have time. If you don't have effort to put into relationship, honesty, trust, I don't have time. And it wouldn't matter if this situation came up with Iyanla and Eboni K. That's just me. I don't have time. As I said, come to our table, not come to the table. Come to our table. But bring what I have and give me the opportunity to see something new that you have. Open it up. So, yes, I would date a bus driver. I would date a garbage man. But these days, you got to come up with more so we can be like this. Because right now, everybody's like this. So, we have come to the end of the vlog. I just wanted to jump on here. When this whole thing went viral, I was just like, I've been talking about this. I've been talking about this over and over and over. Noise out in the world today. It's so much noise. I mean, you like she said, you got the men trying to take the women's rights away. You got racism. You got police brutality. You got the youth going crazy. You got the gun violence. You got the carjackings. It's so much noise. The best thing is to have a partner that y'all could go through it together. Nobody wants to be single. I mean, yeah, some people want to be single by choice, but nobody wants to be alone. But if you can't bring to y'all's table a situation to make the situation better for the woman or the man, what are you doing? The person could just stay single and be by themselves. Everybody got chaos going on and noise. But you got to put, like Iyanla says, you got to put in the work to go forward, to be a better person for you before you could be in a relationship, to be a better person for you. So, we're going to wrap this up, y'all. I hope y'all having a good Saturday night. What am I going to do? Watch some TV shows. I've been watching Love is Blind Brazil. I didn't get hooked to Love is Blind. I didn't watch all the regular ones. Now I'm on Brazil, child. I'm going to probably watch them all over again. I love that show now. Got some more topics and some more things coming up, y'all. I'm still trying to, still got to figure out about this damn waxing. And I was still doing some like pre-estimates on my wall with the tiles today. I taped them up there and I seen how they look and I took pictures. Because I'm still trying to figure out how to put them up on the wall and put something behind it so it doesn't damage the wall. I was going over that also. So be the best you. That's all you can do. And I want you to please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel below. It's just K1, y'all. I am K. I hope y'all have a good weekend and enjoy the rest of your evening. Oh, look at it. And be good and be safe. I will wrap a taste with you later. Be good, y'all.